out here is a sign unto the end. The end of who? The end of what? The end of this eon and the end of the so-called white man in rulership. Okay, the end of the end of the revival of Rome. Alright, that's the time we're living in right now. And we're excited as hell. Okay? Because we know, once we go through the tribulation, we're going to get into the kingdom. Alright? Go on, brother. We all got to be prepared now. Mentally, spiritually, all around. Go on.
Start from verse
9.
Yeah. Alright, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, from verse 1.
No, 15.
Oh, 15, yeah.
Yeah, 15 in verse 9.
Oh, 2nd Ezra's 15.
Yeah, verse 9. Yeah.
Second Ezra chapter 15 verse 9. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Yeah, read verse 1.
Verse 1.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
You go.
Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Yeah, keep going.
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Revelations, what is it? 21 and 8. Go on.
2nd Ezra 15, verse 1. Alright, continue.
Yeah, continue.
2nd Ezra 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring famine. It's like I'll bring plagues upon the world, and sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
And that's the reason why destruction is coming here. That's the reason why the Most High is going to break this society down. Now, he put certain people in power to bring this empire into existence, to show an example and to fulfill his word. Give me that in Job. Somebody give me Job 9:24. To fulfill his word. So now that we know exactly what wickedness is all about, and being that that's the case, you know, we revert back to what is the Most High, which that's prophecy. Now all the Most High has to do is to bring in the final prophecy, and that's going to be the church. Okay? Because this world was not set up to last forever. This is not the kingdom of heaven. This is the kingdom of Shaitan. Okay? Go on, brother.
Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
Yeah.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
And that's the so-called white boy. Okay, the powers that be. The elite. The Most High gave them the authority to be in that position, so that they can roll out their wickedness and fulfill the Father's will, man. Because see, the Most High works on the left-hand side of things and as well as the right-hand side of things. That's all that's happening right now. And then once all of this has been played out, destruction is going to come. Go on.
If not, where and who is it?
Right, and who is it? So we already know who he is. We found out based on his prophecy. Or should I say prophecy on what Esau would do in his latter days. We figured him out. We got him figured out. Okay, go on, brother.
2nd Ezra 15, verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, touching their wickedness,
So
which they profanely commit.
Exactly. So there's going to come a time where the Lord is just going to act accordingly, because it's already reached to his highest peak. Wickedness I'm talking about. Like I said before, this is not the kingdom of heaven. This is the kingdom of the so-called white man and also Shaitan. So everything is going to go adverse to what the Most High set it up to be. Hence you have the term, or should I say you also should understand that the word Shaitan or Satan means to be the adversary or to be adverse. So everything that the Most High set up on this planet in nature, Esau's twisted everything. But he can't help himself because that's him playing his part to be the devil. Go on.
I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit,
Right.
neither will I suffer. Neither will I suffer them in those things.
You have to read a bit louder.
Neither will I suffer them in those things, and which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Exactly. So it's gonna come a time where the Most High is gonna put a stop to this nonsense that's been going on throughout the four corners of the earth. You know, you have these Roman Catholics molesting children. Okay, them altar boys, and then you got two men pretty much doing what they do on the sexual level, and two women doing the same thing. And all of that is going to be put to a stop real soon. This is all being played out just so that we can learn something and learn exactly what it means to not follow the guidelines that the Most High set up on the planet. This is what you're going to get, the big gigantic mess, where your daughters can just flaunt around the place and sleep around with different guys. And you can't do nothing about it. You can't say nothing about it or do anything about it. You got to just watch all of this nonsense that goes about. And you got to see your young boys turn inside out as well, or being rebellious to their parents. So this is a world of evil, a wicked world. Go on, though. And see what you can see when you know these scriptures, right? You know a world of righteousness when you know these scriptures. So now that you know that, now you got to take a look at where you at. What world is this? If I'm reading the scriptures and everything is contrary to the scriptures, then that lets us know what world this is. This is the world of Satan, man. This is a satanic system. In order for you to prosper in the society, who you got to sell out to? Satan, right? Exactly. Go on, brother.
Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me.
Right. All those sheikhs that died and perished, they're calling for the Most High to act, which you will do in due time. Go on, brother.
And the souls of the just complain continually.
Exactly. So that's it on that. Yeah, so we will be done.
21, verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you,
right,
delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
And that's going. Now we're going back to the main point. But that's going to happen to the men of God, the prophets. We're going to be brought before the nobles, and they're going to figure out what's up, brother.
They're saying that the Jake goes on top of the points.
Yeah, fuck these niggas, man. Go on, brother.
I'm saying the comparison that Jake saw and he had respect for the plus. And Esau, he see what we're doing, he'll still walk right through.
Yeah.
Showing you that we got, that's why I go back to the topic of what I was saying about that college students, the college student Edomites, when they stood in front of that guy, that Nathan Phillips, and they had that smile on their face. It shows you that in order to do the level of murdering that they've done on the planet Earth, they can't possibly have a conscience about it. They can't. It's like an intergenerational thing that's in their spirit. They don't have a conscience about nothing that they do. These so-called white people don't have a conscience about what they do. And you see the brothers out there, they stood in great boldness. That's something, that's what's gonna stir Jake up, man. Alright, and that in itself, I believe the scriptures talk about this word shall go to the four corners.
Yeah, it's literally gonna do that, yeah.
That's Esau is basically helping this gospel to get out. Yeah. He's basically pushing forward the prophecy when he does that, man. So that was a great thing. Yeah.
No, it's fine, man. Hey, that's beautiful, you know? So yeah, it's definitely gonna wake up Jake to understand what we're doing here, man. Yeah. Alright? And the elect, especially, they're gonna see, because you still have some of the elect that are not awoken yet. So they're gonna wake up just from that probably, you know?
Go there for the sake.
This is Zechariah 11, verse 5. Alright? Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Yeah, because these Edomites, they don't really, they think that because what they've done, their forefathers have done 400 or 500 years ago, you gotta forget about it now, it's the past. You know, times have changed, you gotta move on. But the Most High has a way of doing things, man. Just because something happened 300, 400, 500 years ago, don't mean that you could just quickly forget about it. Or a nation is going to forget about it. No. It doesn't, the law don't work like that. Most High require the things which is past. Somebody can get me that too.
It's about there.
You understand? So, like I said, just because Esau did what he did to Jacob 400 or 500 years ago and he ain't doing it no more, that don't mean that the Lord is just gonna turn his back from his wickedness and then forgive them. No. And the Lord ain't gonna forgive them anyway, because when you read the book of Hebrews 12 and 15, they neglected the birthright. All right? Go on.
And it goes to show that these so-called white people, the Edomites, they don't like you. You know, there's a video where it says, you know that there's like the 8 parts to the video. When are you gonna wake up and realize the devil Esau hates you? You know that video is like 8 parts to it.
See, okay, who's it, GMS?
Yeah, that GMS, and you're showing like different, like, you know, how they phone the police and us and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know the 8. There's 8 parts to that. There's 8 different parts to the videos. You know, when are you blacks gonna realize that Esau the devil hates you?
Yeah.
You know, show that right there. That was on the news. That's on the news, not even on like on the internet. That's on the news for everybody, the World Wide Web, man. Even though it was national news that hit, we saw that they're showing you right there that they don't have a conscience of life, man. Any man that has any integrity, it shows you. Read it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which have been is now.
No, Zechariah. Okay.
Zechariah 11. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Right, because people read them.
And they that sell them Zechariah 11 and 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
See, that's Esau. Read that again. Read it one more time.
Blessed be the Lord. Alright. Whole thing, yeah? Zechariah 11 and 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Right? And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Right, so it says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Okay, that's Esau. You know, that's Esau. And what you see in that video, you show how they don't hold themselves guilty at all. They were all chanting, doing a little chant, the Edomite chanting.
Yep.
One guy got naked, man. He took of his damn, all he saw is his briefs, man. He took of his whole thing. And he started going like that, turning around and doing all of that, you know.
That's that football mentality.
Yeah.
That hooliganism. I remember
hooliganism.
It's lucky when I was 16 at work when I was doing into the carpentry, and I was in a predominantly Bethnal Green pure Edomites around there. You know the area.
Yeah.
And when I used to get into little arguments, they used to say, "Are you criminals?" I'd say, "What about all you football hooligans?" Yeah. Anytime you walk around the street, you can't even. You got to break up all the shop, then mash up all the windows, then over football. You know what I'm saying? And when we were younger, we might have done it. Stupidness. We weren't over football though. To survive, that was my argument against them, and I always won that argument. And that was back talking about the 80s, early 80s. So I was a little. Even then, I was a bit awake. So like, yeah.
Awake, yeah.
Even then, I was awake.
Yeah.
At my age, 19 and 18.
Yeah.
I was aware of the Esau, what they was really like, you know?
And that all goes into the scriptures, because the Bible says Esau was a cunning hunter a man of the field.
You know, brother, they really rated too.
Now, which race promotes sports the most? So-called white man, man. Even in Rome, they had gladiator fighters, they had Colosseum races, and today you got UFC. And who's the best boxers and UFC is Israelites, man. But the white man reaps the main benefits, man.
Yeah.
So we're still in captivity.
Yeah, because these devils, they think that they're better than. These devils think that they're better.
Hi guys! Peace out!
You know what I'm saying?
Just keep teaching, brother.
They think that they're better, man. So go read that again. Read that again.
The true spirit came out. That was the true spirit. You're talking about the true spirit came out.
Yeah, their true spirit comes out, man. You know what I'm saying? And that shows you the level of consciousness to murder such people on such a mass scale. You can't possibly have a conscience. That's showing you that when they say that Jake is genetically violent, they try to say that we're just innately violent people. That's all projection. It's them. They're the innately violent people. And then when you watch the video,
They're the actual terrorists.
yeah, they're the real murderers, because in the video, the brother with the big beard, and that's how that video, he said, oh, that's the caveman, the real caveman in his real state. If you watch it, because I watched it like a few times over. You gotta watch it, man.
And the black man, and then it's a black guy.
You know? And even though the brother was calling them crackers and everything like that, you know, he was almost like he was actually taunting them in a sense. He was kind of taunting them. You know what I'm saying? When you bring your crack ass over here, you know, it was going on like that. Hey, read on.
Zechariah 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that seldom say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds be them not. Right. And when it says, sorry, can I say that?
No.
And when it says about shepherds, our so-called leadership, you know, pastors, black MPs like Lammy, and you know, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. We're not saying that they tried, but they didn't have the answers, because the Lord wants us to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Imagine if we got out of this captivity, but we still have the same mindset. We'll go back into slavery again, man.
Yeah, because Jake is too goddamn messed up, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be saying that because I don't like the majority of Israel, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't, right? But I'm just saying, when you're dealing with these Negroes, you see what they're doing, you see their activity, they're gone, man. They're stupid. Like the shooter says that he likened his people unto Sodom's children. And you know, it proves the point, because you had a lot of guys that was in the IUIC. In the IUIC, right? These dudes just blindly followed Nate. And we were saying for the longest time, right, that the IUIC, the Lord ain't dealing with them. We've been always talking about this. And in the midst of that, they've been saying, oh yeah, you GMS guys are hating, man. You guys are hating on us, man. You know, we building schools. You understand what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden, they actually see the wickedness of their church by their leader Nate. All right, we've been telling these jokers, man. And you got certain guys on the comment board, because I was watching the video of this guy who they call the Pocket, and I did scroll down and I did read the comments, and you got these shakes. They're talking about, well, hopefully the IUIC they'll get back in order again. They're not gonna fucking get back in order, because the Lord is not dealing with them. Okay, the Lord ain't fucking. Excuse my language, but the Most High is dealing with the brothers that are in order, and that's teaching the complete truth.
All right, that's right, bro. Because you have to understand the majority of our people, they're gonna come up against us. You could. That's why you don't see them out here.
Exactly.
You don't see them out here listening. And just what did Yahweh Shah say? They that are not with us, what are they? Against us. They're against us, man. So don't be surprised when you start seeing niggas siding with the enemy, joining hand in hand with them to destroy us. Yeah. They did it to Yahweh Shai, remember?
Yeah.
They literally did it to Yahweh Shai. They took the side of Esau over Yahweh Shai. They did that 2,000 years ago. They did it back then.
And just to add one thing, and even the Roman general, or the guy that was in charge of the judgment of Yahushua, or the guy that was or even the guy that murdered somebody, he didn't agree with it. He said this is something to the effect, this ain't the right thing. It's in the scriptures. But Jake still wanted Yahushua to be put out, man. All right, let me see if I can find it.
Verse 15. They cried out away with him. Oh, okay. 11, yeah? Alright. This is John chapter 19, verse 11. Yahushua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me... Verse 10, right? Yeah. Alright. John chapter 19, verse 10. Then saith Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee?
Right, that's the one right.
So that's Esau pumping himself up, saying, don't you know that I have the power to crucify you?
Which he did.
And he did, okay, because the Most High gave power to the fourth beast.
Exactly.
Which is Rome.
Exactly.
Alright, and that's the same beast that was ruling during the time of Yahushua. Yahushua came on the scene during the time of the fourth beast. Alright? And Pilate said to him, don't you know I have power to crucify you? And Pilate didn't realize that there was a power working behind him to give him that power.
Yep.
And then Yahushua told him who that power was that was behind him. Go on, read it.
Okay. And have power to release thee.
So he said, oh, you have power to kill you and to release you. Like he's the Most High. That's the Most High will say something like that. I have the power to crucify you and then to release you.
Yeah.
To kill and to make alive. Go on.
Verse 11. Yahushua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above.
Yeah, so certain brothers, you're going to be in instances where that's going to be you speaking like that. Now, either man say something, something that's worldly to you. You know when they arrest us and they bring us before fucking courts and magistrates, you know what I'm saying, when they interrogate us, you might have to say something spiritual like that. You know what I'm saying? That is going to be our time eventually. I mean, every brother might have his lot of persecution. It might not even be your lot to be a martyr. Yeah. Wow. You might have to just wallow in the book of Eli style. You know what I'm saying? But those you brothers that are doomed to be martyrs, this basically going to be you. Read on.
Therefore he hath delivered me unto thee, have the greater sin.
So your page is getting wet, yeah?
Yeah, it's a little bit. Verse 12. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him, and the Jews cried out, saying...
So read verse 11 again. Okay.
Verse 11, yeah? John chapter 19, verse 11. And Yahushua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me,
right,
except it were given thee from above.
Right, so you gotta know that Esau don't have no power. Yeah. He's not some powerful guy that's gonna be sitting on the throne for eternity. You understand what I'm saying? He's just a man. That's all he is. He's just a man that the Most High is using. As the scripture says in Isaiah chapter 10 verse 5, I believe. It says O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger. Alright? And the staff in their hand is my whipping stick or something like that. Alright, so the Assyrian